We live in times where there are more and more ecological problems on Earth. The environment is constantly littered and the resources of nature are destroyed. The exploitation of natural resources in huge quantities had led to a sharp decrease in their quantity. The emission of toxic gases and dust by industrial plants has led to air poisoning. The area of wooded lands decreases. Also, there are more and more frequent ecological catastrophes like nuclear power plant failures or oil tanker catastrophes. It extends more and more animal and plant species. Over the past several years, a demographic explosion has been observed, which additionally pollutes the environment. Harmony between man and nature has been disturbed.
The greenhouse effect. This is the phenomenon of increasing the surface temperature of the Earth due to the retention of solar energy by greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases prevent infiltration of infrared radiation from the Earth into space, causing the Earth to warm up. In other words, heat instead of getting out into space is collected in the atmosphere, causing the temperature to rise. So far, the main rule in absorbing heat has been water vapor, but for some time now, the amount of greenhouse gases, especially carbon dioxide, has increased as a result of human activity. It is mainly released along with industrial activities and the reduction of forest area. Other greenhouse gases are freon, methane, and ozone. The effects: the increase in the average temperature on Earth in many places, the melting of glaciers, and in the future, natural disasters that may result from the change of climatic zones. Any attempt to solve this problem must be undertaken by all mankind. This may be, for example, energy saving.
Ozone hole. The ozone hole is caused by chemicals that are destroyed by the ozone layer, called freons. In the 70s and 80s, they were commonly used in refrigeration units, air conditioners, various types of aerosols and fire extinguishers, as well as the manufacture of furniture and foamed plastics. Since the late 1970s, there has been a significant decline in ozone, especially over Antarctica and the South Pole. If the ozone layer becomes too thin to protect the Earth from the lethal sunrise, a catastrophic event could happen. Plants exposed to the harmful agent may not produce seeds, which could lead to the extinction of certain crop species. Without plants that can be used as food, animals will start to die. Ultraviolet radiation, however, can negatively affect people directly. Excessive UV radiation can weaken the immune system in humans and reduce their resistance to infections and diseases. Among these diseases are most certainly cancer, especially skin cancers.
Water pollution. Water is essential to live, just like oxygen and food. Without water, every living creature dies: plants, animal, man. Water pollution is called chemical substances and microorganisms that occur in natural waters, not being natural ingredients. Among the living organisms, Escherichia coli plays the most important role in containing water. Contamination can occur in dissolved form, gases, liquids, solids, colloidal systems or suspensions. Surface water pollutants change color, taste and turbidity. It negatively affects water. Waterborne microorganisms can cause severe food poisoning. Almost all man-made pollution is toxic to most aquatic organisms. As the concentration of pollutants increases, the quantity of fish will decrease in the water reservoirs.
Acid rain. Acid rain is atmospheric acidic precipitation. They contain acids produced by the reaction of water with the airborne gases emitted into the atmosphere in the combustion process of fuels and various industrial production. Acid rain cannot be easily distinguished from normal rainfall, but its impact on the environment is easily noticeable. Acid rain causes death of large numbers of trees and the destruction of forest cover. Trees have damaged leaves, causing excessive water evaporation and disturbances in photosynthesis, resulting in their low resistance to climate conditions. In addition, acidic soils are acidifying the soil, which contributes to the activation of aluminium and cadmium, as a result of which plant roots have reduced ability to extract the nutrients necessary for them. Acid rain, as well as other acidic precipitation, enters lakes, rivers and similar reservoirs, causing them to be acidified and rendered unfit for humans and animals.
Forest cutting. Otherwise, deforestation. The main reason for this is the growing demand for wood as a building and heating material. The felling of trees or their firing, in many cases illegal, every year are increasing in size. It is estimated that every year up to 15 million hectares of forests, including rainforests, are lost. By 2050, 40% of the Amazon will disappear. The phenomenon poses a threat to all organisms inhabiting this site. Many species, for example orangutans, are endangered by extinction due to the destruction of their natural habitat. Deforestation also affects the phenomenon of global warming, as it is the source of greenhouse gas emissions and the disturbance of water circulation in ecosystem, which in consequence affects the occurrence of droughts and floods.
Smog. This is an atmospheric phenomenon resulting from the mix of air with smoke and flue gas. It is toxic and unnatural. In recent years, we have noticed an increase in the concentration of toxic substances in the air we breathe. Air pollution, which is smog, is caused by the ingress of harmful chemicals such as sulfur oxides and nitrogen oxide. Prolonged contact with them, except of tumor changes, can lead to weakened immune system and renal and hepatic failure, not to mention adverse effect on the respiratory system. To minimize the risk of smog, we should promote public transport such as trams, metro, buses, rail and city bikes, increase gritty areas in cities, restrict traffic in city centers, and apply modern technology in industry. It would be advisable to change the standards of coal-burning stoves in homes or choose alternative, more green forms of heating them.
In order to prevent various environmental problems, it is necessary to introduce specific legal solutions. All offenses should be severely punished. It is better to counter threats than to remove them. Another issue is to address the problem of protecting the environment of international publicity. You need to educate people about the problems that surround them. Individuals, not just the states, have to join in efforts to improve our Earth. It is also important to intensify ecological education, which is to make the youngest to be sensitive to environmental problems. Particularly valuable are the Earth Days, popular for many years, during which the great cleaning takes place. In conclusion, we should make people aware of environmental issues and try to live healthily and in such a way that do not harm our environment.